All right, in today's karate class, we're going to start by warming you up. We're going to work on our punches. After that, we're going to work on 4 different kicks: our front kick, hook kick, round kick, and axe kick. And then we're going to work on our horse stances. After that's over, we're going to make sure that you can get through your one-step feet technique, 6 and 7, 16, 17, 26, and 27. And then the self-defense technique's the same, except my advanced students have to go up to 29 instead of just 27. And lastly, advanced students are also going to work on the fourth part of their form, and then the other students will just review their part of their form. At the end of that, we'll have a challenge. It's a sit-up challenge. So I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. All right, as usual, we're going to start off with 25 jumping jacks. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Good. Now lay down on your stomachs. Now we're going to do 10 push-ups. Put your hands right by your side. Put your feet down. Pull your toes back. Get ready. Push up. Say 1. Back down. 2. And down. 3. Down. 4. Down. 5. Down. 6. Down. 7. Down. 8. Down. 9. Down. Last one, 10. Hold it there. And down. Great. Now stand up. Good. Now step out into a ready position. Put your right leg back in a fighting stance. You're going to start with your front hand. We're going to jab. Then we're going to cross. You're going to say Tia, Tua. Ready? 1, Tia, Tua. 2, 3, Tia, Tua. Keep your hands up. 4, 5, Tia, Tua. 6, 7, Tia, Tua. 8, 9, 10, Tia, Tua. Good. Switch your feet. Now you start with the other hand. Tia. Your back hand's going to say Tua and come back. Stay with me. Ready? 1, Tia, Tua. 2, 3, 4, Tia, Tua. Keep your hands up. 5, Tia, Tua. 6, Tia, Tua. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great. Come back to attention. All right, now we're going to work on our front kick. All right, first step out into your ready position, Chumbi. Good. Put your right leg back behind you, fighting stance. Remember to keep the whole time, whether you're getting ready, you're between kicks, in the middle of your kick, make sure you keep your hands up by your head, elbows in, good guard position. So front kick is up chicky. Say up chicky, up chicky. Good. One more time. Say up chicky. Good. Up chicky is front kick. We're going to take our back leg, our right leg. You're going to bend your knee, kick straight in front of you, and when you're done, put it in front. There's 4 parts to every kick. There's the chamber, the extension, or the kick, retraction, or bend it back, and then the fourth part is set down. So to do a really good front kick, we're going to do this together. Let's do the chamber, or bend your knee, kick, retract it, and then set it down. And for now, we're going to set in front. So this time, bend your knee, Tia, and set down. We'll try to get one more in. Ready? Tia. Good. If you have enough room, we could do more, but right now I want you to step backward. We're going to do 4 more. Ready position? Right leg back fighting stance. We're going to go a little faster. Kick 1, Tia. Don't take big steps. Take small steps for now. Tua. Good. Tia. Remember, keep your feet straight up. Don't let it turn over to the side. Asa. Good. And so remember, with the front kick, the last thing you have to remember is that when we do the kick, we don't hit with anything. We hit with the bottom part of our foot under the toes, called the ball of the foot. So when you're trying to do those kicks, especially if you're going to start practicing hitting a target or something like that, we want to make sure that your toes pull back and that you hit under your toes so it doesn't hurt your toes. Good. Now we're going to work on the roundhouse kick. The roundhouse kick is called Tolio Cheki. Say Tolio Cheki. Tolio Cheki. Yep, one more time. Tolio Cheki. Good. Tolio Cheki is a round kick. Some people call it a roundhouse kick. It's not 2 separate kicks. It's the same exact kick, a round kick or a roundhouse kick. So start off, step out in your ready position. Get your feet ready. Hands by your side. Put your right leg back, fighting stance. So your foot is back, your knees are bent, your hands are up in the guard position. Now to do a roundhouse kick or a round kick, I'm going to bring my knee around. I'm going to point my toes, and I'm going to bring the other part of my leg straight across. Do a kick. I always say this is like slapping somebody in the face, but with your foot. And right now we're just doing the air anyway. But take your back leg. You're going to bring your knee around. You're going to kick straight across and set down. Good. So let's work on the parts of it. Stay right there. Now we're going to use the other leg. What I want you to do is I want you to chamber. Once you get your knee chambered and you bring your leg across, that's when we extend our kick out. Don't try to kick right away. We want to chamber and get our kick up, or foot up, or leg up. And then we kick, rechamber, and then set down. All right, so that'll be number 2. Now let's do the third one really fast. Kick Tia. Good. Make sure you're bending your knee and make sure that you're extending out really fast. So you're bending your knee. Last one, Asa. Good. Now let's go back. Again, you might have more enough room, but I would just want to start over, make sure everybody does. So do a ready position. Right leg back fighting stance. Go a little faster. Kick number 1. Ready? Tia. The other foot, Tua. Other foot, Tia. And last one, Tua. Good. And with the roundhouse kick, we want to make sure that we're hitting with the top part of our foot. It's called the instep. Some people call it the flat part of the foot. The flat part of your foot, sometimes people misunderstand, and it's down closer to the toes. It's actually the part of your foot that's directly below your ankle. So wherever your ankle is, there's a series of bones. There's a section of bones right there. That's where we want to hit with the roundhouse kick. You can even hit with your shin if you hit a big or heavy target. All right, but right now, bring your leg across, point your toes. And there are some instances when we hit something really hard, like if I was breaking a board or bricks, I would pull my toes back and hit with the ball of foot, but I don't want you to do that for right now. Now we're going to work on the hook kick. All right, the hook kick is called Hariocheki. Hariocheki. One more time, say Hariocheki. Good. So the hook kick, the Hariocheki, is kind of almost the reverse of a roundhouse kick. Instead of kicking out to strike, you actually stick your foot up and then pull it back. All right. So let me show you. Let's start off with the ready position. Put your feet apart. Do your chumbi. Good. Put your right leg back in a fighting stance. Good. Now the back leg, what we're going to do is we're going to put it out straight, right toward me. All right. So your right leg is going to go toward me, but actually just a tiny little bit off to the side. All right. So if it's your right leg, you're going to go a little tiny bit this way. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick your foot up, and then you're going to bend it and hook it back across. You want to imagine that you're putting your foot up and you're actually snaking your foot around and hitting the side of a person, maybe the back of their head, maybe dragging, holding onto their arm and dragging it down. But let's start the other leg. You're going to put your foot out straight, this time a little bit this way, and then we hook straight across, and then we set down. One thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to bring your foot up so high that when you bring it across, it actually comes downward, right? We don't want that. It's got to go straight across. So you put your hands up, you chamber your foot across, hook straight across. 1, good. And we got one more practice. Get ready. Pick your foot up, hook across. 2, good. So that's called a hook kick. And like I said, it's really good for dragging onto people's arms and pulling their arms down so it's not in a guard position. They're no longer protecting themselves. We can follow up with other kicks. We might do one of those combinations in these drills later. All right, so let's start from ready position. Right leg back. We're going to go 4 more, just a little faster. Pick your foot up. Hook kick number 1. Ready? Go. Tia. Now the other foot. Tua. Good. Remember, take small steps. Tia. Good. And last one. Tua. Good. Straight across. And when we hit with the hook kick, you can hit with the flat part on the bottom of your foot, or you can hit with your heel. It depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to hit really hard, breaking a board or a brick, I would definitely hit with the back of the heel. If you're trying to drag, you would kind of hit with your heel, but then extend your toes more. So the softer part was arched outward, and use that to kind of hook and pull so the person can get their head out of the way. So it depends on what you're using it for, but typically we hit with the back of the heel or the flat part on the bottom of the foot. All right, now we're going to work on axe kick. Axe kick is called chiki. All right, chiki is axe kick. Let's say it one more time. Chiki. Yes, chiki is axe kick in Korean. So the way that an axe kick works, it's kind of the opposite of a front kick in the sense that a front kick, all my power and my pressure is going straight up toward a target. An axe kick, I would be having my foot above the target and pulling down on top. All right, so let me show you how that works. Let's step out into a ready position. Good. Put your right leg back in a fighting stance, hands up, bend your knees, guard position like always. Now we're going to do axe kick. All right, so axe kick, we lift our foot up high, and we're going to hit with the back of our heel. All right, right under the heel, right where that is, and you're going to pull that straight down. So let's do a really basic version of it. Put your foot, swing your leg straight up, and pull straight down. Good. Now, having your foot go high is important because the higher you get it, the more you can pull downward. All right. But wherever your target is, so you can imagine your target being anywhere, you want to make sure your foot goes higher than that target and has the ability to start moving before it strikes. All right. So some people when they try to hit something hard or break it, they put their foot barely on top of it and then try to go through. You have to get your foot higher, way higher than the target, to be able to hit down with some strength and power. So put your hands up. So lift your foot up high and pull down. Good. Now remember, the important part is pulling down, but we don't want to hit our foot really hard on the ground, especially if you don't have soft mats. I don't want you hitting your heel really hard on hard ground. It's bad for your leg, your foot, your ankle, your knees, your hips, your back, everything. All right. So what I want you to do is lift your foot up, Tia. Still be gentle on the ground. Pick your foot up. Last one, Tua. Good. Now let's step back. All right. We're going to do it again 4 more times, a little faster. All right. Put your right leg back, fighting stance. Oh, the last part. If you go to kick and there's a target in front of you, you can't lift your foot up through the target. In the air, it's easy because the target's invisible. But right now, I want you to imagine there's a board right in front of you, you're about to break. You got to get your foot around that target and then hit it down. So we do what's called an inside to outside axe kick. The leg that's behind you comes inside of my shoulders, and then on the way out, it's going toward the outside of my shoulders. It doesn't actually go outside of my shoulders. It just goes towards the inside, towards the outside. So put your hands up, lift your foot up on this side. Tia. Now the other foot has to go the other way for it to be inside. The inside of my shoulders from here is this way, and then the outside would be going back that way. So we pick our foot up and down. Good. Go. Tia. One more. Tua. Good. All right, and that's an axe kick. And remember, with the axe kick, our legs should be straight. We're going to pull straight down, and we want to make sure that we hit with the back of the heel with as much power and force as we can. Now we're going to work on horse stances. A horse stance in Korean is called kima jase. Kima jase means horse stance. Jase is horse stance, and kima means horse. So kima jase, a horse stance, is very strong to the side. Each of the stances, each of the way we stand is good for something or other. A front stance is very strong to the front. A fighting stance is good for being offensive, switching between offense and defense. So it's good for fighting. And a horse stance is really good for techniques that you need to do the side or power or pressure to the side. So if you're ever trying to be strong to the side, a horse stance is the way to go. All right. So what I want you to do is let's work on this. So start off with the ready position. The horse stance is your feet should be about double shoulder width apart. Double shoulder width means that the width of my shoulders is a certain distance, right? And you want to go about 2 times the amount of where you just were a second ago. All right. So now both your feet should be out, right? Make sure that they're straight. As with our front stance, it's important that your toes face the same direction. Your feet are all going the same way, and they're not twisted or tilted outward at an angle at all. We don't want them angled. We want them as straightforward as possible. All right, now from here, we're going to chamber our hands, and I want you to just bend your knees like you're sitting on something. When we sit down, we want to make sure that you don't let your head and shoulders go forward or your bottom of your rear end to go backward, right? We want to go like this, and we want to go straight down. So go ahead, stand back up. Put your feet a little tiny bit apart if you felt like you had to lean forward. Now bend. Good. So back up. If you need to put your feet out a little tiny bit further, go ahead. But only if you feel like you couldn't go down without leaning forward, right? If your knees start to tip inward, this is not a good horse stance. You're putting your legs too far apart. So then if that's the case, I want you to start bringing them in just a tiny, tiny bit at a time. All right, so now bend your knees. Ready, sit down. Back up. Ready, down. And back up. One more time, down. Stay right there for a second. And back up. All right, now, you might have felt it a little bit in your knees. You probably felt it on the inside of your leg muscles here and separately on the outside of your leg muscles here or up through the top. That's really great. All right, a good horse stance, like I said, is strong to the side because once I'm here, I can push one way. So, right, bend your knees, put your feet straight, bend your knees. All right, now I want you to just push one way and now go back to normal and push the other way and come back to normal. I should be able to kind of hit kind of hard if somebody tried to run into me. If I'm in a horse stance, I can push, right? If I had my foot like this in a front stance and they ran to the side of me, I'm going to tip over, right? So from here, bend your knees, ready, push, come back, and then push, and come back to the middle. Now stand up, all right? So when we're in the horse stance, we go straight down. We want to have strength to the side. We don't have very much strength front to back. If somebody were to come up and push me, right, from the back, I might lean forward. If they push my chest, I might fall backward pretty easily, right? It's not strong from the front and back, right? But if we need to be strong to the side, we can. So bend your knees, back up, and bend them farther, and back up. Now we're going to stay down for 10 seconds. Ready? Stay down there really low, right? See how close you can get your belt to the floor while keeping your head up. Look at me. Look at me. Bend your knees. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Stand up. Good. Bring your legs in. And that was a horse stance. Remember, that's called Kima Jase. Now we're going to do number 26, one-step sparring hand techniques. All right, let's start from ready position. All right, now the person punches at your face, all right, with their right hand. You're going to step out to the side, to the left, use your right hand, and do an inside-outside knife-handed block. Once I've blocked them and blocked their wrist, you're going to grab onto the wrist in an outside motion. I call this drawing a U. All right. When you actually do this, don't do it with your finger. But for right now, take your finger, put it up, and I want you to draw a U. Go down, go under this way, and go up in the air. All right. Once we do that, you're going to slide your feet together, slide towards me. The person's arm now should be twisted upside down right here. I'm going to grab on, pull it down, use the same arm to elbow strike the person. I can hold on to them while I elbow them, or you can let go and elbow them. Either way, it's going to work. Spectrum position. So when you draw that U shape, they go from a punching motion, right? And then when you draw the U shape, their wrist comes upside down this way. You put it on your shoulder and pull it tight. Once you pull it tight, that's when you can elbow them. So we're going to do that together. Step out to the side, to the right or left, block with the right, grab, draw the U shape this way, feet together, feet apart, break their arm, elbow strike them. Good. Back to ready position. Let's do 3 times with me, each time going a little faster than the one before. Step out, block, grab, make a U, feet together, break, elbow. Good. Back to ready position. Step to the left. Try number 2. Go. Under, step, pull, elbow. Good. And last, full speed, go. Back to ready position. Good. That was number 26, one-step sparring, hand techniques. Now we're going to do number 27, one-step sparring, hand techniques. All right, let's start from ready position. On number 27, you're going to step back with the right side, blocking with the left. Once you block, you're going to grab onto the person's wrist. At the same time as that happens, your hand's going to come around and do a ridge hand. The ridge hand is with the fingers straight, tight together. Pull your thumb back out of the way. So we blocked and grabbed, and you're going to ridge hand. Then immediately grab the person's shoulder. Use your right leg to knee strike and land in front. All right, so back to ready position. One more time with me. Step back, block, grab. Use your right hand to ridge hand. Grab the shoulder. Right leg knee strike. Good. Back to ready position. Now we're going to do 3 times with me, each time getting a little faster than the next. Step back, block, grab, ridge hand, grab, knee. Back to ready position. Try number 2. Go. Block, ridge hand, knee strike. Good. And the last one, ready, go. Back to ready position. Good. Come to attention. And that's number 27, one-step sparring, hand technique. Now we're going to work on number 26, self-defense techniques. Remember that the set of 5 techniques, 26 to 30, are all techniques sitting on the ground, or sitting on a bench, sitting on a chair, laying down. We don't practice them or even teach them from the actual bench or chair. We do all of our techniques from the ground, though. So when we have a seat, all right, number 26 is you're supposed to be sitting on a chair, and somebody comes up towards you. They step at you in a threatening way. All right, you feel unsafe. Maybe they're reaching down trying to choke you. So if we're sitting on the ground and somebody steps towards us, to defend ourselves, what we do is we have to determine which leg they're stepping with. So if they're stepping with their left foot, right, their left foot would be stepping toward this foot over here. I'm going to use my left foot to do the first move. All right, so the first move is I want to kick at their hip, at their stomach, at the top of their leg, all right, whatever you can reach. You might want to put your hand down on the ground for support. You definitely will for the next part of this. But from here, what you're going to do is they step at you, you're going to kick your foot up toward their hip. The bottom leg is going to hook around their ankle, right? You're going to use your heel and you're going to put it around their ankle, and then you're going to, in a second, you're going to pull it in close. All right, so if you watch the next part, when I pull it in close, I'm going to use it in conjunction with pushing. All right, so they step towards you, you put your foot up, you kick first, and immediately slide your foot around. Now from here, if I were just in a chair, it would be a little easier to just pull the person and continue to push them. But since we're on the ground, we're going to need a little bit more support with that. So once we kick and we hook, from now I want you to push off the ground, push with your foot and land all the way forward. Kind of go up to your knee. From there, we could totally stand up and keep on fighting or defend myself from there. All right, but the idea is to hook their leg, push their hip, make them fall backward as you pull their leg out from underneath them. So one more time, the whole entire thing. We're going to put our hand down. We're going to kick with the left, hook with the right. From here, step forward and push just like that. All right, and then you can do the same exact thing on the other side. You can put your hand down support here. If they step towards this foot with their leg, I kick, hook, from here, push them downward as I pull their legs. So their legs should be here, their body should be here. We should be stepping toward them and able to protect ourselves. All right, so last time, let's do it one more time. Ready? From here, you're going to kick, hook, push, land up here. And like I said, you can stand all the way up if you wanted to. All right, so that's number 26, self-defense techniques. Now we're going to work on number 27, self-defense techniques. Number 27 is another seated technique. You imagine that you're sitting on a bench, all right, not a chair. There's a bench because somebody can sit right next to you. That person decides they want to put their arm around you and be your buddy, all right? We want to make sure that when somebody is not your friend and they put their hands on you in a way that you don't want, we want to be able to get their hands off. So their arm goes up and around you like this. So I'm going to imagine I'm sitting here. There's a person sitting next to me with their arm around my shoulder. All right. The first thing that I'm going to do is you're going to take the arm that's close to them, elbow them in the stomach. All right. If you feel unsafe, you need to get away and they're not letting you, they're holding you down, they're pulling you back. All right. You elbow strike and immediately follow up with a palm strike. All right. The double move here is important and necessary because my hand will be there for the next part of the technique. All right. So we're sitting here, the person's next to us. You're going to elbow strike them, palm strike. Leave your hand up near their face while this hand snakes around behind and grabs. We do that same type of reaching motion for a lot of our one steps. Well, number 7, when they have your collar, we reach around behind. When somebody has you in a headlock, we reach around behind, grab the shoulder, pull upward. So this common practice of coming around behind, reaching up and grabbing something, or at least pushing down or being able to control them by going around their arm and shoulder, gives you a lot of pressure on their shoulder, is really important. All right, so from here, elbow strike, other hand, palm strike. The one that did the elbow strike goes behind the person, up and over. You're going to grab onto your own hand, and then you're going to pull the person in. If I was sitting on a bench and I did that to the person, their head would go down, then you'd throw or roll them off of the bench. If they're sitting next to you like I am with their legs out here, it actually just squishes them upside, it squishes them in half, it folds them in half in a really uncomfortable position. They typically just and get squished in half. But from here, elbow strike, palm strike. This hand reaches up behind, grab onto your own hand. This is going to help you give a little bit of pressure as you push, squeeze the person in half, right, and hold them down until you can escape, get away, or they give up. All right, one last time. Elbow strike, palm strike. The elbow strike arm goes up behind, grab. You're going to squish them in half, just like that. Good, and that is number 27, self-defense technique. Now we're going to do number 28, self-defense techniques. Remember, these set, everybody's on the ground, so we're going to have a seat. All right, so this one is you're just sitting there on the ground minding your own business, right? And somebody comes up and they take their right arm and they go around your neck and they try to choke you, all right? So your legs are crossed. Right now, for this one, it's going to be easier if you put your right leg out in front of you. So what's going to happen is the person is behind me and they're grabbing me around my throat, around my neck with their right arm. The very first thing I want you to do is I want you to turn your head a little tiny bit so that you can position your chin into the crook of their elbow so it helps you breathe just a little tiny bit longer. At the same time as you do that, you're going to reach up and you're going to grab onto their sleeve, all right, their shirt. You can grab onto their whole arm if it's just their arm, but if you can get a sleeve or karate uniform, it's really easy, or some type of tight shirt, all right, you can grab. All right, from here, you're going to pull them over your right shoulder, but you need a little bit of support. Just doing this won't stop the person very much. So what you're going to do is you're going to slide your right foot out behind you, making sure that as you pull, it's really important that as soon as possible, get your knee down because you don't want the person falling on your leg here. So what you're going to do is you're going to push yourself up and roll them over, going up to your knees. All right, so from here, you're mind your own business. They take their right arm, they grab you. You're going to turn your head, you're going to grab their shoulder, their sleeve, pop your foot out, go up to your knees, push the person as hard as you can, and hopefully they should fall or roll or get thrown over your right shoulder onto the ground. Then from there, you can stand up and continue to protect yourself or protect yourself from the ground. So one more time, they're reaching with their right arm. I turn, grab, slide my foot out, push, landing on your knees, using your whole body to push them over. Remember, if somebody is behind you and they're already leaned over this way, it's a little easier to make them fall over than you think. In fact, if you were higher, if you were sitting on a chair and they were choking you, you might not be able to get that same exact type of position. But because they're all the way over trying to grab you down here, they're already a little off balance. So as soon as they grab your sleeve, they kick their foot out and they lean, I'm going to roll or fall over top of that. All right. So remember, it's grab or look over your shoulder, grab with the right side, kick your foot out, lean, go all the way up to your knees. And that's number 28 self-defense techniques. Now we're going to do number 29 self-defense techniques. Number 29 is another technique where we're on the ground. This time, we're actually going to be laying all the way down the ground. Maybe we're sunning ourselves at the beach or watching the clouds in the sky on a nice day or something. And somebody comes up and they try to threaten you from your feet, all right, from that position. So if I'm laying down just like this and they come towards me, all right, if I look up at them and I see that they're stepping with their left foot, which will be coming towards here, whatever foot they step closer to you with, you're going to kick with that foot. So for right now, we'll just do the right side. You're going to take your right leg, you're going to kick and try to kick them or spear them with your toes right in their hip, maybe groin or stomach, and try to push them backwards. So immediately kick. That foot's going to slide down to the side, and I'm going to hook with my ankle, all right, the back of my heel and my ankle, like I did before on their ankle. At the same time as I put my left foot on their knee, maybe up to the hip if they're not too tall, but really the knee is a good position. So you're going to pull with the bottom foot as you push with this foot, which locks their knee out. So their heel's going to pull, their knee's going to push, it's going to tighten their leg up, they're going to lose their balance, they're going to get pushed backward, it's going to hurt their knee. All right, so one more time. We'll start with the right foot, kick with the right, slide it down to the side, turn it outward. Take your left leg, put it up against the knee as you turn. Now you're going to sit up. I go to my elbow, and I'm going to pull the bottom foot as I push with this foot. And at the same time as I do that, I'm actually going to push up to my knee for most pressure. Then once I'm here, I'm going to put my hands down, use the same foot that's closer, and kick right in the face, like a downward roundhouse kick toward the face. So one more. You're going to lay down. You're going to use your right leg to kick, put it down, this foot up, push on the knee as you pull on the ankle, as you rock yourself up, push all the way. Once you're on your knees, pick your foot up, kick downward just like that. All right, we're going to do it one last time. You're laying down, mind your own business. Kick with the right, hook to the side, push, stand up on your knees, kick. And that's number 29 self-defense techniques. All right, now we're going to work on Basai. We're going to work on the fourth part of Basai, but to get to the fourth part, we have to review the first three. All right, so let's all face the same way. Put your feet together, hands by your side, we'll face this direction. All right, start off in a Chumbi. Now Basai Chumbi, so lift your left foot up, hands low, up high, and then down. So we're going to turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Supported block. Step inside, outside. Inside, outside. Turn outside, inside. Inside, outside. Pick your foot up low. Same foot, step outside, inside. Inside, outside. Horse stance. From here, the left hand, spear, punch, make a front stance, block. Go back to horse stance, block. Step your half step, right side forward, knife hand 1, knife hand 2, knife hand 3, 4. Right hand goes low, high, side kick, and knife hand. Step forward, knife hand. Step back, double high block. Step forward, double hammer fist. Jump, double punch. Open up that hand, look over your shoulder, front stance. 1, 2, feet together. 3. Turn, right leg outside, inside, low, block, slap, kick, elbow. So this position right here is where we ended the third part of Basai. All right, the 3 parts that I'm doing. The fourth part starts from this position. So we're going to come back to this position a couple times to make sure you know which way you're facing. Your left hand is open, your right hand is here. So now for the fourth part. You're going to turn into a front stance. Back to right at the beginning of the form. The right arm is already in a fist for the elbow. It stays there, turns a little bit to your shoulder, and the open hand chambers back in a front stance. Now, there's 2 parts you need to remember. First is that the back hand goes on top, and then the bottom hand goes to the top twice. All right, so those are the 2 parts. So let's start with the first part. Backhand goes on top. We're going to do what's called a U punch. a whole bunch of times. I guess it's a U punch because it makes a circle shape this way, kind of like a U. The backhand is always going to go on the top. The front hand goes low. All right, so from this horse stance with your left hand open, right arm, elbow, and here, you're going to look over your shoulder. You're going to chamber. The backhand is going to go on top. From here, I'm going to step backward, and my bottom hand, the one down here, goes to the top into a chamber position, but we have to do a bottom hand to the top twice. So now the new bottom hand goes over this way. Now, because my bottom hand goes this way, I'm going to take that foot and do an outside-inside crescent kick, land in a front stance that same way. Then I do a U punch, and which one goes on top? The backhand, right? So the backhand, make sure it's your right hand is on top. So now we're going to step backwards. We're going to take our bottom hand. It goes to the top 2 times. Good call. Now that leg, because I go this way, that foot goes around. Step in a front stance, backhand goes on top. And that's going to be the end of part 4. It's only a few moves, but trying to figure out which side is which and which one to go on can be a little confusing. So I want you to focus on just those moves. So let's go back to horse stance. All right, facing this way. You're going to take your left hand, open it up. Right hand does an elbow. Remember, that hand that's already in a fist goes right to your shoulder and you make a front stance. All right, U punch. The back hand, the one that's behind you, goes on top. Bottom hand goes to the top twice. Then we kick with that foot that way, same as your hand went the second time. Back hand on top for a U punch. Step back, feet together. Bottom hand goes to the top twice. Then I'm going to kick that way. Back hand goes on top. All right, so one last time from part number 4. We're going to go a little faster. You're going to bend your knees. Left hand open. Elbow strike right there. Ready. Chamber. U punch. Step back. Chamber twice. 1, 2. Use your left foot. Kick that way. Back hand on top. Put your feet together. Bottom hand goes to the top twice. Now the right leg. Kick. U punch. Now there's only a few more moves left after that. But like I said, we're going to save that for part 5. We'll be teaching that next week. And I want to make sure that you can get through all that. Try to get through the first 3 parts as fast as I did at the beginning for the review. And try to get through the 4th part. Make sure you have it fully memorized. So the 5th part will be very easy for you. Good luck. In today's challenge, we're going to work on sit-up punches. All right, sit-up punches are we're going to go to a sit-up position. All right, so you're going to lay on your back. Your knees are going to be apart. Your hands are going to be here. You're going to try to sit up and punch twice and lay all the way back down. The goal is to get your shoulders all the way off the ground, punch twice, and then lay back down. Sit up, punch twice, and come back down. Punch twice, and come back down. I'm going to see how many of those you can do in 1 minute. But remember, you have to go all the way up, and you have to go all the way down in between. All right, but make sure you go all the way up for it to count. 1 minute. Good luck.